Hello, my friend. I'm so glad you're here today. Let me ask you something right from the heart. Have you ever stood in the grocery store, staring at the seafood section, wondering, which of these fish is actually good for me, and which ones might quietly harm my health? For so many of us over 60, the answer isn't clear. We've been told for years that fish is healthy, good for the heart, good for the brain. And that's true, some fish are wonderful for you. But here's the shocking truth nobody really says out loud: not all fish are safe. In fact, a few of them can be downright dangerous, especially as we age. And that's why we need to talk about it today. Because what goes on your plate matters more than ever now. Muscle strength, memory, circulation, so much of it ties back to the food choices we make. You deserve to feel strong and steady. You deserve energy that lasts, not another hidden risk that steals your health in silence. You're not alone if you've been confused. My neighbor, John, a retired teacher, once told me how proud he felt switching from red meat to fish 3 times a week. But after a routine checkup, his doctor raised an eyebrow and asked him to cut back, because the fish he was eating was actually making things worse for his blood pressure and memory. John was shocked. He thought he was doing the right thing. And maybe you felt the same way, trying to eat healthy, but still wondering why your body feels heavy, sluggish, or off balance. So today, let's clear the fog. I'm going to share the 4 worst fish you should avoid after 60, the ones that may bring more harm than benefit. And as we continue, we'll also discover the fish you should eat to protect your heart, brain, and energy. But for now, let's start with the ones you need to stay away from. Fish number 1, farmed tilapia. Tilapia often looks harmless. It's cheap, it's everywhere, and people call it the chicken of the sea. But here's the catch: it's one of the worst choices for seniors. Why? Because most tilapia sold in the US is farm-raised. That means cramped tanks, unnatural feed, and higher levels of unhealthy fats. Instead of giving you the omega-3s your heart craves, tilapia can fill your body with omega-6 fatty acids that actually increase inflammation. For someone over 60, inflammation isn't just a buzzword. It's linked to joint pain, memory loss, and even heart problems. One lady I know, Grace, shared how she used to cook tilapia every Friday for her grandkids. But she noticed her arthritis flared up worse afterward. When she switched to wild salmon instead, the stiffness slowly eased. That's not magic, it's biology. Fish number 2, swordfish. Swordfish sounds fancy, like a restaurant treat. But here's the hidden danger: mercury. This large predator fish accumulates some of the highest mercury levels of all seafood. And mercury is especially harmful for seniors, because it builds up in the brain and nervous system. Have you ever had moments where your hands feel shaky, or your memory feels fuzzy, and you just chalk it up to age? Sometimes, heavy metals like mercury play a part. Swordfish might taste rich, but it leaves behind a toxin that your body struggles to get rid of. For older adults, even small amounts can add up to bigger problems. So if swordfish is on the menu, do yourself a favor, skip it. There are safer, healthier choices waiting for you. Fish number 3, farmed salmon. This one surprises people the most. Salmon has such a glowing reputation. Eat salmon for your heart, doctors say. And yes, wild salmon is fantastic. But farmed salmon? That's another story. Farmed salmon are raised in crowded pens, often fed grains instead of their natural diet. This changes the balance of their fats, leaving you with less omega-3s and more harmful substances. Worse, farmed salmon can contain traces of pesticides and antibiotics used to keep diseases away in those crowded farms. I once spoke with Margaret, a 67-year-old grandmother who bought salmon every week because she wanted to eat like the magazines say. But she noticed she wasn't feeling any better, her cholesterol was still high, and her energy still low. When she learned that wild and farmed salmon were completely different foods in terms of nutrition, she felt betrayed. I thought I was doing the right thing, she told me. And I bet many of you can relate. Fish number 4, king mackerel. Now let's talk about mackerel, specifically, king mackerel. While some types of mackerel, like Atlantic or smaller varieties, are healthy, king mackerel is loaded with mercury, just like swordfish. Seniors are especially vulnerable because mercury doesn't leave the body quickly. Over time, it can chip away at memory, coordination, and heart health. Think of mercury like rust slowly eating away at a strong chain. You don't notice it at first, but years later, the chain is weaker, fragile, easy to snap. That's what high mercury fish can do inside your body. So, my friend, these are the 4 fish you need to be cautious with once you're over 60, farmed tilapia, swordfish, farmed salmon, and king mackerel. They may look innocent, they may even taste good, but the risks aren't worth it. The good news? You don't have to give up fish altogether. There are wonderful, safe, and delicious options that can nourish your heart, strengthen your brain, and keep your body steady as the years go on. And that's exactly where we're headed next. We'll uncover the fish that truly deserve a place on your plate, the ones packed with the nutrients your body needs most at this stage of life. These are the choices that help you stay strong, keep your memory sharp, and give you the steady energy to enjoy each day fully. Welcome back, my friend. We've just walked through the 4 worst fishes that can quietly damage your health after 60. But here's the good news, fish doesn't have to be the enemy. In fact, when you choose wisely, fish can become one of your strongest allies for heart health, memory, energy, and even your mood. The secret is knowing which ones to embrace. And today, we're going to talk about 4 fishes that truly deserve a place on your plate. These are the ones rich in omega-3s, clean protein, and safe for seniors who want to live longer, stronger, and sharper. Fish number 1, wild-caught salmon. Let's start with the obvious, but only if it's the right kind. Wild salmon is one of nature's most powerful foods for seniors. Unlike farmed salmon, wild salmon swims freely, eating a natural diet. That means its meat is packed with omega-3 fatty acids, the healthy fats that protect your heart, soothe inflammation, and keep your brain sharp. Think of omega-3s as oil for an old engine. They keep things running smoothly, reduce friction, and prevent breakdown. For someone in their 60s or 70s, this can mean fewer joint aches, better circulation, and more clarity of thought. I remember Margaret, the same grandmother who felt betrayed by farmed salmon. When she switched to wild-caught salmon twice a week, something amazing happened. Her blood tests improved, her energy lifted, and she said her morning walks felt lighter on her knees. It feels like my body is finally thanking me, she laughed. That's the power of making the switch. So, when you shop, look for labels like wild-caught Alaskan salmon. It might cost a bit more, but remember, it's not an expense, it's an investment in your strength and longevity. Fish number 2, sardines. Now, let's talk about a little fish with a big heart, sardines. They may be tiny, but they're loaded with nutrients that seniors desperately need. Sardines are one of the richest sources of omega-3s, vitamin D, and calcium, all packed into one bite. Why does that matter? Because after 60, bone strength becomes a daily concern. Falls, fractures, brittle bones, they can turn life upside down in an instant. Sardines help strengthen bones from the inside out. They even bring coenzyme Q10, which supports energy in every cell. And here's the best part, sardines are low in mercury. Because they're small and low on the food chain, they don't accumulate the toxins that bigger fish carry. That makes them one of the safest seafood choices out there. I had a friend, David, who once turned up his nose at sardines. "Those are cat food," he joked. But when his doctor recommended more calcium for his bones, he gave them a try, on whole grain toast with a slice of tomato. Now he swears by them. "I feel steady, like my legs are stronger," he says. Sometimes the simplest foods are the most powerful. Fish number 3, anchovies. Another small but mighty hero, anchovies. You might know them as the salty topping on pizza, but when eaten fresh or canned in olive oil, anchovies are a true superfood for seniors. Like sardines, they're packed with omega-3s. But anchovies also contain a special kind of protein that supports muscle strength. And after 60, keeping muscle mass is critical. Without it, balance declines, metabolism slows, and independence slips away. Anchovies also bring selenium, a mineral that acts like a shield against cellular damage. For seniors, that means protection for your heart, thyroid, and even your immune system. One man I met, Robert, used to sprinkle anchovies into his pasta sauce without telling his grandkids. He said, "It melts right in, nobody notices, but my joints sure do." That's the beauty of anchovies, they blend in easily but deliver powerful results. Fish number 4, rainbow trout. Finally, let's shine a light on a fish often overlooked, rainbow trout. Especially when it's farmed in the US under safe, clean conditions, trout is an excellent choice for seniors. It's rich in omega-3s, vitamin B12, and high-quality protein, all essential for memory, red blood cells, and maintaining strength. Unlike the high-mercury predators we talked about earlier, trout is low in toxins and widely available. Grilled, baked, or pan-seared, it has a mild, delicate flavor that many seniors find comforting and easy to enjoy. I remember one couple, James and Carol, both in their late 70s, who decided to replace their weekly fried chicken night with baked rainbow trout and vegetables. After a few months, James noticed his cholesterol dropping, while Carol said she simply felt lighter, less weighed down. "It feels like food that loves us back," she said. And that's exactly how the right fish should feel. So, to recap, the best fishes for seniors over 60 are wild salmon, sardines, anchovies, and rainbow trout. These are not just foods, they're tools for living longer, stronger, and with more joy. Now, let me leave you with this thought: every meal is a chance to either build yourself up or break yourself down. You've worked hard all your life, given so much to others. This is the time to choose foods that give back to you. Next time you're at the market, pause for a moment at the seafood counter. Remember the 4 to skip, and the 4 to embrace. Let your choices be an act of love toward yourself. And as always, I want to thank you for spending this time with me today. Your health, your strength, your joy, they matter. More than you know. Until next time, take care of yourself, eat well, and remember, small changes today can bring big blessings tomorrow.